Good morning. Happy Monday. Monday's here again. It comes around so quick. I say that every week. But anyway, hello. Good morning. Happy Monday. Thank you, Joe, for joining me so early. And Skadjdius, good morning. Let me pop a good morning in here. Good morning, all. Oh, how are you all? Well, how are you both? Now there's 3 of you in. So give me a thumbs up, a like. You know what to do. We got to push the feed. So give me a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Anything you can do to sort of help push the feed, that'd be great. And yeah, let's grow this live and put more and more stuff in it. That'd be good. So how is everybody? What have you been up to this weekend? Anything great? Oh, nice necklace. Oh, thank you. Yes, I'll tell you more about why I've got this color palette on later. Yeah, it's lovely. It's very chunky, isn't it? That's great big amber there. Great big amber. And these are dyed highlight and turquoise dyed highlight. I just love how chunky they are. Big chunky jewelry. That's me. I love it. Right. Who is? Oh, you're slowly coming in. Right then, good morning. Just in case you've never found me before, I'm Gemma Crow. I'm a jewelry designer, maker, teacher, author, presenter, creative confidence coach, all of those things. And on a Monday morning, I always do a live at 10 o'clock, more recently via YouTube. I've just switched over, so we're just starting out on our YouTube journey. And on Mondays, we just have a general chat about what I'm up to for the week. Good morning, Roderick. Linda. Good morning, Linda. Little chat about what I'm up to for the week, what things I've got going on that you can take part in, and maybe what I'm working on the bench. I say bench, it's a table. It's just a table with some beady mats on. And what else can I tell you? Also, we do a mystery mini make. So good morning, Leslie. You found us nice and early. You remembered we were here today. That's good. Also, on a Monday, we do a mystery mini make. So here's the mini make box. There's more than 10 projects in here, but this row and this row are the 1 to 10. So you can get a little sneaky peek. It's back to front for you, so don't forget. And basically, this, as we comment and chat this morning, if you can vote for which box number you'd like me to open, I will demonstrate that little project in there. Projects are small takeaway projects that you can expand on or grow, but they generally give you some sort of technique that you can then take into your jewelry making and run with it, do what you like with it. Last week we had these lovely, we did a little, it was very serendipitous last week, wasn't it? We did a bit of intention setting, talked about setting goals, and then the box that was chosen was a little frame that had beads in it. And I talked about making intention bracelets. And I thought, wow, that project could be perfect for an intention pendant. And a few people have had a go and set their intentions with their gems. So it's lovely to see that. I always love seeing what you do with the project or with the mini make after the Monday. So please post any makes that you do from the mini make into Monday Mojo. I'd love to see them. Plus, post any of your makes into Monday Mojo. It's all about boosting each other's creativity and inspiring each other and celebrating the milestones along your journey as well. So yeah, if you make something, shout it from the rooftops. Show everybody. Good morning. Right. Oh, lots of comments. How have you secured your amber into your beautiful necklace, please, Gemma? Okay, I'll tell you that in a minute. Wendy, morning. I'm here at last. I have the day off. Woohoo! Stretching out my birthday weekend. Birthday was yesterday. Oh, happy birthday for yesterday, Wendy. Everybody send a love heart to Wendy for her birthday. Or maybe you can join me this afternoon then, Wendy. I've got a free workshop. Thank you, Linda, for the comment on my necklace. Happy birthday for yesterday, says Joe to Wendy. Hi, Francis. Hello. Happy birthday, Wendy. Oh, look at all those lovely, what are they? Oh, little party poppers. They're cute. Yeah. Oh, smashing. So my necklace, I was just saying a minute ago, it's a great big amber, and then there's highlight round the neckline, big highlight slices. It was a graduated strand, so it's nice and easy, just chop and put it into sections. Good morning, Beth. Hey. Yeah, and then this amber, it's got a slight ridge in it, and what I did is I filed it out a bit more just to create a bit of a ridge. And so when I wrapped the wire around, it sort of it hugged into the ridge, so it can't really slip up and down. And there's enough wire wrapped around. I think it's a 0.8mm wire I've used on there. So yeah, there's a little ridge inside, but you could always just pop a bit of jewelry glue underneath too. You see I got matching eye makeup today as well. Look at that, I look like a bird. Yeah, so I'll tell you why I'm in a turquoise mood, turquoise and orange. Ooh. I've been working on color palettes this week anyway, because I have a color show at Charmers Gems on Monday evening, next Monday. And so I've been in the zone of color this week. And on our walk on Saturday morning, this was a horrendous day yesterday, so we did a nice long 8-mile walk on Saturday. It was lovely, bit cold, but it was nice. But on our walk, we were just walking through a field we always walk through, and a kingfisher swooped down and just sat on the tree. We watched it for a few minutes, and it swooped back the other way, and it was the most vivid, bright, beautiful, electric blue. Honestly, it was gorgeous. It felt like such a treat. It's lovely when things like that happen, especially if you've started opening yourself to seeing colours or beautiful things. It's amazing how many more of those things come into your life. And sort of, I advocate that through my book Creative Confidence. I say about when you start noticing color, you start noticing it everywhere. But then just to have that sort of affirmation that here's a color palette for you, and then it just flew right in front of me. Yeah, and you know how secretive and elusive kingfishers are, so it was a real treat. It felt magical. So yeah, so I'm full on in the turquoise and orange and yellows and blacks zone today, and I think I'm going to make a piece of jewelry based on that, and I have a plan in mind. So that's it. Oh, hi Francis. Skadja says happy birthday, Wendy. Wendy, oh, everyone feeling loving the party poppers, guys. I just may join you, Gemma, later. Yeah, why not? So what I'm talking about is later on. I haven't got it out in front of me, but I can show it you in the book. Later on, because I'm about to start this creative confidence journey over on Charmers Gems. So basically, there's a book, Creative Confidence, the book, as most of you know. And there's Creative Confidence, the course, which some of you in here, Leslie, has been on. Linda, not sure which Linda you are, because I haven't crossed over with the usernames yet. I've had a couple of Lindas on the course as well. But now I'm going to do this as a very practical insight into the book and the concepts that are covered in the book. So the book covers all the 12 principles of design, with tasks and activities throughout each week. So each week focuses on a principle. So the first week, for example, is color. And then throughout that week, you work through that principle, but in a very practical way in the book with tasks. And the idea is that as you work through the principles, you develop your own style as a jewelry designer maker. And you go through, and at the end of the book, you feel very confident about designing pieces of your own and how to put things together. Hello, Isabel. And how to put things together, and have confidence in your own creativity. Also to be able to speak the language, because I think it helps when you feel confident in articulating your design as well, telling a story about it, for example. But yeah, it takes you on a journey through 12 weeks. It's laid out in that way. 12 is a good number for cycles of change. You know, that's my history. So it all merges. My creative self, my coaching self, teaching self, all merges into one in this book. So that's what I'll be doing over the next 12 weeks over at Charmers Gems. Is a very practical insight into it. So I'll be making pieces that represent each chapter and showing demonstrations and just talking about the concepts basically. But the first task that I set people on when they open the book, the first task you'll be presented with before you start the 12 weeks is something called laying the foundations. And it's basically you create an inspiration board for your journey. So it helps you really focus on what your true style is, what inspires you, what you're drawn to, colors, textures, words, patterns, the dynamics of those things all mixed together. So you go through this. It's an hour and a half, the workshop. It will set you on the way. You might not finish your board in that time, but it'll give you a good start and a good idea of what the board is, how to use it, how it can help you, and also glean some quite fascinating insights about yourself as well. That's sort of a byproduct, but it's interesting what comes up for people. So this is what it looks like roughly. This is my one that I created some time ago. I've created more since. They're all very similar because we generally, when we work intuitively in this way, we generally come up with the same thing because it's our core, and that's what I encourage you to do through creating that, is work almost subconsciously to create this. So yeah, so that's this afternoon. It's free. It's to set everybody off on their journey and give you a little bit of a head start into the coming 12 weeks if you're going to follow the sort of program then of shows over at Chalmers. This might help you get started and stay true to yourself. So that's at 12:30. You have to book it via the website, which is www.gemacrow.com. I'll put /workshop, so it'll take you straight there. And if you go there, you can book it. It's free. It just means that when you go through the checkout, you get the automatic download to be able to access the Zoom workshop this afternoon. So that's at 12:30, and it runs for about an hour and a half. But you don't have to stay the whole time. You can come in, get started, and see if you like it, and then dip out, dip in. It's just a nice little project to kickstart the creativity this week. Right, morning Mary, how are you? Lovely to see you in. Joe says that Kingfisher colour palette sounds like fire, night sky, sunshine and earth metals, i.e. copper. Yeah, so ever since my head's been whirling with, like, I really want to create a Kingfisher with flame painted copper and see if I can achieve those bright electric blues and those really hot oranges, do you know, when you flame paint. So I think that's going to be a little slow burner in the back of my mind. It's got too many other things to work on, but I really want to do it. I don't know if anybody remembers, if anybody's in that remembers a Kingfisher that I made for a Jewellery-Maker show. It's got to be about 6 years ago. I think I made a hummingbird around the same time. And it was a Kingfisher sat on a sort of talk style necklace, and I had bulrushes going up the side of it as well, and I cannot find it. I've probably put it in a lucky dip. Somebody's got it somewhere. But if you know of it, or you remember it, or you know where a photograph of it is, perhaps you saved it or pinned it or something, please let me know, because I'd love to see it again, because it just reminded me. I thought, oh, I made a Kingfisher once. What do we need for the board? Okay, Wendy, so on the website it would give you a list of things you need, but basically you need a bit of cardboard, ideally bigger than A4, but I used my last one. I used one of those Amazon boxes and just opened it up. You can use a cereal box, open up a cereal box perhaps. It doesn't have to be beautiful, it just has to be something you can stick onto. Card works better. You'll need some magazines or old magazines, pamphlets from through the door, anything really with some color pictures in, and you'll need a glue stick. You might want a pair of scissors, but I would encourage, I'll talk to you about that. But yeah, some people like scissors. I like tearing, but yeah, you might want a pair of scissors, and that's it. So not much really. Yeah, catalogues, pamphlets, leaflets, magazines, anything you don't mind cutting up, even photographs. Not that I know you don't really want to cut up photographs, but it might be nice to have some photos if you've got photos of things that have inspired you. Even go through your, we can do something digitally as well. I still have my board. Right, I still have my board, says Leslie. I wouldn't change it, I don't think. Or maybe it would be similar. Can't join you this afternoon, unfortunately, but would encourage others to have a go. Yeah, you got a lot from it, Leslie, didn't you? And what's so wonderful is you can look at, those of you that I know in person or have been on workshops with me, I could look at the board and know whose it was. And they'll all be so different, but they really do give you a good representation of that person as a creative, and what their true style is. So if you've ever struggled with knowing what your style is or having a signature, it's a great workshop to do, just to reset, because we can really go off track. We start making for other people, or making for fairs, or making for magazines, or I've presented and made jewelry for years for shows, and I just get presented with materials and then work with those. So you tend to lose what your style is, or your true identity as a designer is, and it's really hard to reset it once you've got into that pattern. So this is a nice reset. So anybody that's just maybe feels they've gone off track, or really don't know what their style is, and the other thing that the board provides you with is it provides you with projects all the time as well. I will talk to you about that in the workshop. You can use it to sort of set yourself challenges and things. There's loads of ways you can use it. I'm looking forward to doing it again. I am in definitely for that, Joe. Oh, brilliant. So pop over to the website, book on. It'd be lovely to have a nice crew of you in. And it's lovely because I'll see you as well. Well, you don't have to go on camera if you don't want to, but it's really nice, even if I can see what you're working on, because I can help with some insights perhaps, and we can sort of glean insights from each other as well. So the more the merrier. Sylvia, you can remember that? Yeah, I remember it. You remember the hummingbird? Yeah, I've still got the hummingbird. Yeah, I just wonder where the kingfisher is. Roderick, I've joined up for that. Looking forward to that. Yeah, I saw your name this morning, Linda. I wrote you down. So you are Linda Walton, is that right? Good. Gemma, could we use Pinterest and print from there? Yeah, you can print pictures, print a load of images. However, you can print some in advance if you want. But yeah, it's unlikely we'll be using whole images. So I don't want to give it all away. We'll be tearing things up. So mainly it's probably better if you've got a magazine, or if you can, grab. I've pinched the Sunday magazine from my mother-in-law. I said, "Do you want that?" She said, "No," because I had that from her paper. Yeah, the Times. Wow, it's got some interesting articles in. Yeah, it's not the it wouldn't be my paper of choice, I don't think. Yeah, you can print. And Joe, some people are very, very digital, and that actually gives you a good idea of your style as well. So I can tell if somebody uses scissors or print, what sort of designer they are. So, but it's an interesting thing. So come on the workshop. Come on the workshop. We'll go through it, and then you'll sort of glean how you want to go forward. Yeah, so that's today. Right, also, whilst you're all here and I got all your attention, you're hunting for stuff right now but not having much luck. Just pop after the live, pop to the local shop and grab the cheapest magazine you can find, or an old catalogue. Holiday brochures are great. There's all sorts of things you can use. Isabel, have you still got your board? Do you still use it? I'm sure you do. I think you're going to have to. Yeah, I mean, I've got loads of magazines, but some of them are important. I don't want to cut them up, but you kind of think, oh, I could do with cutting them up. Luckily, I've got a stash of ones that I've used before, so hopefully I didn't throw them away when I was being ruthless. Sort of thing I might have done. What was I going to say? Yeah, get your numbers in, your votes. So vote from 1 to 10. So each box here, I've put new projects in as well, because, you know, I've been organising and sorting. My desk has never been so tidy. It's so lovely. Really loving having a nice clear desk. So yeah, I've got some new projects in. I've got, I'm not going to tell you which boxes are at which, but I've got a little herringbone weave mini make. Don't worry, when I do the demo, I will adjust the focus. Why won't you focus? Well, you get the gist. It's a herringbone weave. Yeah, there's roses. I've done that one. I just noticed when I popped under there, actually. I swapped that one because that one's not so good. I'll put that one in there instead. So I'm changing the boxes all the time. So we've got a vote for 10, a vote for 2, and a vote for 7. Ooh, 2. 10's nice. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. 2, 10, and 7. Right. Any more? If there are any more, we'll keep it going for a little bit longer. But just so you know, that's what we're going to do to sort of close down our live today. So I just put my numbers on here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Get my tally. So a 10, a 2, and a 7 so far. 1 for you, as it's the new year. Yes, nice. Like you're thinking, Mary. Yes, a new year, fresh start, blank page. I still have my board, says Isabel, but I have been ignoring it. I intend to do exactly what you suggested. Go to the local and get cheap magazines. Yeah, just, you know, what is it, like Chat or something? They're about 79p. Mind you, it's a long time since I bought a magazine, so I might be wrong. Yeah, you just got to go back to it. Maybe as well, you bring your board with you to the workshop. And are you going to come on the workshop this afternoon? 12:30 it starts. 4 for Skadjes, another 10 for Linda. Are you going to come this afternoon? Because you could bring your board and add to it, or just refresh yourself about how to use it, how to make the most of it. My light's gone a bit funny, hasn't it? Have I turned a light off, or let's turn another light on? It's so bright up here with the skylight open. It's so sunny today outside. It's absolutely beautiful sunshine. Pouring down rain this morning. Chris was very grumpy taking the dog out this morning. I mean, I don't blame him. Like at 5:30, 5:45 in the morning, you don't really want to get up, get into your waterproofs and go and walk the dog, do you? But he does every morning, bless him. And so he's quite grumpy. But he went to work smiling in the end. That's good. What's happening this afternoon, please? I just nipped downstairs and missed it. Okay, so I have a free workshop going on this afternoon, and it's to create a inspiration board for your jewelry making journey, or your design journey, really, your creative journey. It doesn't have to be jewelry making. It can be, I don't know, if you're into any other crafts. You'll end up with a board that looks something like that, and it takes you through a very intuitive journey of creating it. And by the end of the session, you will have a tool that you can use to refer to really ensure that you are staying as authentic as possible and true to yourself as a designer maker. So it's free. You just pop onto the website. I don't know if you can pin a comment in here. I wonder. Let me see. So I put the website in. Can you pin it? Can I pin it? I can pin the message. So the message is pinned to the top of the chat. or somewhere in the chat. I don't know where it looks, what it looks like for you, but if you just pop on there, you can book for free. You need to do it through the website because it will give you the information that you need and the materials you need to gather. A 10 for Isabel. Materials you need to gather, and also it'll give you the link to the Zoom workshop. So it's a live in person, hopefully two-way. We can speak to each other, talk to within the group, yeah, get that inspiration board made up and ready for use for the year ahead. So I have, there's one this afternoon. Love it if you can join me on that one. Be really nice to have a nice crew to kickstart the sessions with. But I also have another free one on the 17th, which you can book onto as well. So I think that one's probably a morning one. So yeah, there's lots there. And you might, whilst you're on the website, have a look. There are, I think, 12 new jewelry making workshops on there. So there's more workshops to book. And if you book by the end of today and use the code January 10, Jan 10 caps. If you use the code Jan 10 at checkout, you get 10% off, but that offer ends midnight tonight. So it's open for the rest of the day and then it ends. So it's, if you book today, any workshops, you get 10% off. So there are, you know, there's making owls, there's different ways of selecting cabochons, there's techniques such as wire macrame. There's all sorts on there. There's project-based and then there's skills-based as well. So have a look. They're for all different levels and see if there are any you want to take advantage of that 10% off while it lasts. I did a number 10 for Isabel. Is this on YouTube? No, it's on Zoom. Yes, it's on Zoom. So there's a link in the download. So once you check out, it's free, but you still have to go through that checkout purpose because then that automates a link for you to come onto the workshop. Okay. And yeah, it's on Zoom so that we can speak to each other, actually talk to each other rather than message. 10 for Isabel. There's loads of 10s today. Beth, I remember doing a board when I did the paint pouring course with Sue. I don't have it anymore, but I find it really useful. Sorry I won't be able to join later. I'll be at work, but I will do another. Yeah, so Beth, have a look. There's 2 dates on the website. I think the 17th is the other one of this month. So have a look at that. I should imagine that one might be a bit busier. Because I'll be promoting it on my show on the Monday, which is a bit of, you know, a larger audience on Instagram. So it might be a bit busier. If there's enough demand, I'll just do another one. Skadius, do you have to use a camera? You don't have to. It's nice if you do because you don't have to have it on yourself. Maybe you can have it on the board if you don't like using a camera. You don't have to have your camera on. You can join in without your camera. That's absolutely fine. But it is nice. I can help you glean some insights into your style if there is a camera on, but it's not essential. Linda, I joined up to do the board, but because I wasn't ready, booked the 17th. Oh, okay, Linda. Yeah, I got Lynn on this afternoon, not Linda. I knew there's 2. There had been 2 people book onto the 17th already. But yeah, that's fine. Just pop in and do it then. Charzane, hello. Hi, Gemma. Can you information about the 12-week course? I would love to tell you when the next 12-week course is running, but I'm afraid it's going to have to stay posted because I can't commit to a 12-week course just yet because I'll be moving house soon and it's a big move. And so I don't want to start the course and be distracted. I want to be focused on you all through your journey. So I'm going to hold off, but I think it will be around April that I'll be starting the 12-week course. Okay, so keep peeled, and it'll be around April time, be able to book and start that course then. It is a great course. I mean, I know I'm the creator and I'm biased, but it's a great course. Every time I do it, I am re-inspired and reignited, as well as the students that do it. We've had some great success stories. If you pop onto the website and look at the Creative Confidence course, the lovely Leslie, who's in here, did an interview with me about what she gained from the course. So you can get an idea Can you just watch, or do you have to get involved there and then? I suppose you could watch and gain an insight into what to do and how to do it. But I would say it's good to do it along, because it will make you work more intuitively if you've got a bit of a time frame and you're doing it with other people. So it's great to do it along, and you'll get more from it if you do. But yeah, you can just come in and watch if you like, or just wait until the 17th to book onto that one and get prepared ahead. If you go on the website, it'll give you a list of everything you need and what you need to get ready, and you can join in on the other date. Okay, thank you. I can plan for April. Yay! Well, I'll look forward to having you in April then. Leslie, I cannot recommend the course enough. Oh, thanks, Leslie. The 12-week course sounds interesting. I'll keep my eyes peeled for that one. Yeah, it's a lovely journey. When I wrote the book, there's so much I can't put in there because it's a book, and you need to connect and talk and discuss and coach. And you can do so much in the book. I can give you so many activities, but actually working through it with you and with a group of other people working through it just adds so much more to the journey. It gives you so much more confidence, and yeah, and gives you a group of people that you can sort of be accountable to, which helps. I think any learning process needs a little bit of accountability to help you stay on track. And it will help you create a body of work that you're really proud of. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough either. Even though I'm the creator, that sounds, but I'm supposed to, aren't I, right? But it's always nice when you hear it from other people. It did exactly what I planned. When you produce something, and you don't always produce things that are exactly how you imagined. There's always something missing, isn't there? I don't know if you ever make a piece of jewelry and you're like, oh, it's lovely. It's not exactly what I imagined, but it's near enough. Or, you cook a dinner for somebody and you just think, oh, if the sauce was just a little bit, I don't know, thicker, thinner, saltier. But this one, I think it surpassed. I had an idea and a feeling that it would be great, but I don't think I really realised how great until the courses. Well, and that is a lot owing to the people that came on and attended the courses and worked through it as well, because they brought so much energy with them, and so much inspiration and commitment and support for each other. For me, it was lovely, absolutely wonderful, lovely. The sheet metal course looks good too. Yeah, that's a nice one. And again, come April, I will be able to do those more committed, prolonged programs. So I will be running the wire confidence courses again, which are 10 weeks, to give you all the sort of foundation skills for wire working. I will be doing the mastering metals course, which gives you a taster in all different techniques with using metals. I'll be doing the creative confidence. And then there may be other courses, but for now, that's my plan, is to start all those in April. Can I check the date for the weaving intermediate, please? I can't join you this afternoon as I'm accompanying Lorraine to hearing clinic. Yes, the date for the weaving intermediate. Have I put it on? Let's have a look. Let me have a look. I'll tell you what, I don't need to look here. I can look on my phone. That's better. And I can show you. It's the best course I've ever done. We'll join again. It doesn't just give you confidence. It's a journey of self-discovery and healing too. It was for me anyway. Yeah, that's it. I mean, creativity, pouring your heart into something can be part of that healing. It's different for everybody. And that's what's beautiful. It really does help in so many ways. So there's so many levels to it, that journey. So I'm glad to hear that, Isabel. Yeah, and I've loved watching your journey. Absolutely loved it. Just always feel so proud when I see people posting their work, and I just think, oh, you know, I remember when that was a seed of a concept, or you hadn't acquired that skill yet, and now you have, and like, it's lovely. It might not have been from me. You've gone off and learned those skills somewhere else and then brought them back into your designs, and that's amazing. It's always such a beautiful thing to see. Our group are still in touch and really good friends, so you gain friends too. Yeah, that's it. And it is nice to have a nice group. I try not to run it with very few numbers, just because the group really supports the whole process. So it'd be good to have a nice group size next time. Oh, what was I looking for? My website. That's what I'm looking for. Gemma Crow. Home workshops. Wire Weaving Intermediate is on the 9th, Sylv, which I believe is Thursday this week. Ooh, it is this week, isn't it? Yeah, Thursday afternoon, 2:30 till 5:30. So I've got lots of workshops in. Most Thursday afternoons between 2:30 and 5:30, there's a workshop. And then, yeah, the 17th, the Inspiration Board workshop, free one, is running on the 17th again at 10:30 till 12. And then, yeah, there's lots of workshops, plaiting and braiding with wire. And just when you look at the image, there's one image on the front. So like plaiting and braiding, it's one image there. And then if you click it, you don't have to press book now. You click it, you'll see other images that are associated with it, so you can see some examples of what you'll be achieving. So yeah, don't, because when you look at it on a laptop or a PC, you get, you know, the whole thing, but on your phone you have to click in to see the images. I've had a lot of requests for the snake, and so I've done a snake. I put the snake workshop in as well, because lots of people have been asking me about that one. So I've put that workshop in, and that's a longer workshop's more involved. It's a project, so it's on the 31st of this month, and it's from 10 till 3. So I tried to keep it in school hours as well, because I know a lot of people do school runs and things like that, so I've tried to keep it in those sort of school hours. Right. You're in later, Wendy, yay. And Sylv, you can do the 9th, brilliant. So don't forget today, if you book and use code JAN10, so caps JAN, J-A, I'll put it in the thing. Use the code JAN10 at the checkout. 10% discount code on workshops only. On workshops, and that's whether it's a £25 workshop or a £40 workshop, whatever, it's 10% off. So, and the offer ends today, so book today, and then you get your 10% off. So can't go wrong, really. I have the necklace on the 4th photo on the sheet metal workshop. Do you? Oh, where's that? Which one have you got? Oh, you've got on the 4th photo on the sheet metal workshop. Let's have a look. Oh, you've got that one, have you? I wonder where that one was. Sylv's got this one. Probably from a lucky dip, hey Sylv? So yeah, I do have some lucky dips available. So there are some lucky dips left. If anybody wants any, and there will be more, because I'm still sorting, believe it or not. It just never stops. So yeah, get in. Any more votes for the box numbers? Number 10 is in the lead at the moment, just to let you know. I can have a swig of coffee. I haven't stopped yet. What else? Oh yeah. So I wonder, I don't know if anybody saw, I made a post on Facebook. I'm not sure whether it's my page or Mojo. I think a bit of both. And I went on a walk on New Year's Eve. It was a beautiful walk, a waterfall at the end. I probably told you about it. Did I tell you about it last week, or have I not seen you since then? What date is it? It's the 6th. No, I haven't seen you, have I? Let's have a look. What date did I last do this? 30th. Oh, I hadn't done it by then. Right. So on the on, yeah, Happy New Year. This is the first time I've seen you since the new year. Blimey. It feels like ages ago. Yeah, so on New Year's Eve, I went for a walk in a lovely, lovely woodland near me called Greyfields Woods. First time I've been there, and I can't believe I've been here nearly 3 years, and it's the first time. There's only 10 minutes up the road in the car, and then it's a nice walk. There's many levels of walk you can do through it, but off the path, there's this gorgeous waterfall, and I thought, what a great way to sort of say goodbye to the year is to find a waterfall. There's something about that flow and that falling off the edge that really is quite cleansing. It feels like you're getting rid of things. So I got some pebbles, and I wrote on some pebbles things that I don't want to take into 2025 with me. So I wrote on the pebbles, and I stood at the top of the waterfall, and I just threw the pebbles down the waterfall one at a time, and sort of said goodbye to those things that maybe have confined me or restrained me or stopped me from progressing in the last year or so. And I just threw them off the thing, and as soon as I did it, tears. Yeah, it was like a real letting go, and there was that something about the symbolism of throwing them off the waterfall and just saying goodbye to those things, and it's really helped. So every time I get that little bit of that thought or that feeling that makes you feel a bit suppressed and underconfident, I've remembered doing it and thought, no, I threw that away. I don't need that anymore. So yeah, so it's a really nice exercise. It doesn't have to be a New Year exercise. You can do that any time of year. I remember doing it with my son when he was small. I'm sure he won't mind, but he had a bit of a hard time at school at some point. And I remember writing on stones and throwing them off the top of a hill in Gloucester. We marched up, threw these things off, and then came down. I remember it being quite an important thing, and I thought, well, I'm going to do that again. That's something that feels like a good thing to do. So I recruited Chris in my endeavour to do it, and did that. And then I thought, what else would be nice is if I took a piece of jewellery with me and I left it for somebody to find, to sort of wish them well in 2025. So I put a little box, put a piece of jewellery in it, a little note to say, I hope whoever finds this brings them luck, and it's a little message on there. And I hid it in a tree stump in the hope that somebody would find it and it would make them feel good and smile and give a nice start to their new year. And it was such a, I just felt great ever since. I felt like it was really nice. And I imagine if I found something from somebody, I'd be absolutely over the moon. It's not my idea. I stole it. It was, I've seen it on Facebook and Instagram, mainly Facebook, people hiding like a £10 note behind cartons of food or tins of food in supermarkets and things like that. I saw that and I thought, what a lovely thing to do. One, it's very thoughtful of the person who did it, but two, the person that found it, it just must give them faith, and that must make them feel quite special to be the person that found that. And I imagined if it was me and what that would do for me, it would really, something like that would really impact me. I know it would. And so I thought, I want to do that. So I did, and it was lovely. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it a lot, actually. I've decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it more often. And I'm always creating pieces that go into a box or into lucky dips. And instead of that, now I'll still have plenty more. But instead of that, I'm going to put them out into the world and leave little notes for people. I think it was lovely. I can't wait to do it again. In fact, like I keep looking around thinking, oh, that can go in a box for somebody. Yeah, I thought that was lovely. Yeah, it was lovely. And you know what? I don't know if you've ever watched that episode of Friends. I don't know if any of you are Friends fans, but there's an episode of Friends where Phoebe, who's a brilliant character, tries to do something good for somebody else without it actually being good for her too. It's like she couldn't find a selfless act because everything that she did that was good for somebody else made her feel good, or promoted her, or she got some reward for it. And so yeah, so that's, so it doesn't matter though, does it? I mean, what does it hurt if it makes you feel good as much as it makes somebody else feel good? That's the point, isn't it? There's a poem, just reminds me. It's this, and it's in the front of the book. So this is not me promoting the book, but actually that concept, that thought, that what I just said reminds me of this poem, which is why it's the front in the book, because it hit my core when I read it, and it was given to me. This poem came to me through Abby Marsden. She sent me a book of poetry, and I read this poem, and I thought that is how it is. So I'll read it. Yeah, she was thrilled. It was lovely, wasn't it, Leslie? Funny enough, she said she tagged me in it, but it didn't come up in the tag. So she then posted a picture of the tag, but I can't find her post. But yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice because she must have had to do a bit of research to find me on Facebook as well. So, the fact that she took all that time to find me, to thank me, was lovely. Right, so the poem is by Rumi. Isn't that something? I like when the music happens like this. Something in his eye grabs hold of a tambourine in me. Then I turn and lift a violin in someone else. And they turn, and this turning continues. It has reached you now. Isn't that something? And that, I love it. I love it. It's just that paying it forward, that you being energizes someone else, and then their energy energizes someone else, and it keeps going. You can keep that perpetual motion. Unfortunately, it works the other way around as well. You can do it with negativity too, but it's just the way it is. And it's nice just to keep that flow, and that's what keeps you pepped. It's what keeps you creative and you excited, and having that lovely, that nice energy that fuels creativity. So so keep doing things like that. I don't know if you've got a bit of jewelry that you think, you know what, somebody might benefit from this, hide it somewhere, leave it somewhere for somebody to find. Might be nice. If you do, let me know. I'll be excited. Hi Gemma, just tried to book sheet metal course. Does the 10% come off automatically? Sorry to ask here. Hope it's okay. Yeah, of course. If you put in you've got to put in the code at the checkout. Checking chat is now working for me. Oh, it didn't stop working, Joe. Yeah, it should be simple. You should be able to just put the code in at the checkout. It should ask you. It's hard because I can't go through the checkout process myself, because I have to go into some sort of incognito mode, which I don't actually know how to do, and go in. But I'm pretty sure, I don't know if anybody else can tell you, Lynn booked a workshop and got 10% off the other day, so it should be all easy. Couldn't see a code. Okay, so the code was posted on my social media. So, but the code is Jan, JAN, all caps 20, and that's the code, and it should give you Joe's. Okay, it should take the 10% off. Yeah. So try that, Linda. The sheet metal one, yeah, that's on this. I can't remember what date it is. I should really. What I need to do is get my dry whiteboard and try and put it up. Problem is, my ceilings are all. I haven't got any wall. I've got no walls up here because all the ceilings slope. So I'm gonna have to have it like above my, like on the ceiling above me, so I can see. I just go like that. Oh, it's on the 6th. Or maybe I could put it there, so I can just see it, but it's going to be difficult to write on with it on the ceiling. Yeah, it's not the easiest room. Soon I'll have a different room. Jan 10, not Jan 20. Oh, sorry, Leslie. Yes, sorry, it's Jan 10. It's not 20% off, it's 10%. So Jan 10. Thank you. Let me pin, if I pin this, it's in there. Yeah, Jan 10. That should give you 10%. If it doesn't, Linda, just check out and I will reimburse you the what is it, £2.50. It should be fine. Okay, right. So, any more votes before I dip into box 10? I feel quite excited today. This afternoon, after the next workshop, I will be creating, I'm going back to my very beginnings. When I first started using gemstones, I was using gemstone chips lots because it was a really nice, cheap way of me getting my hands on gemstones. Because when I first started, I literally had zero money to spend on something that I sort of didn't know whether there was a hobby or I was going to be able to sell my work. Anyway, I don't know why I don't do it so much now, because it actually was one of the best-selling necklaces, and I sold them over and over and over. But yes, Isabel's telling you she's got it right. Jan 10 at checkout, and it works, not Jan 20. Yeah, so it's crochet, multi-layered crochet necklaces. So that's what I'm going to be working on today, and it's going to be a nice way of me introducing some color palettes and showing some different types of palette. But what it does mean is hours and hours of sitting and threading gemstones onto beading thread. So I'm not looking forward to that bit, but I am looking forward to the crochet bit and then putting them together. And I'm probably going to keep some of those for myself, because I realise I actually don't have one myself, which is ridiculous. So I've made so many. So I'm going to make a load of those this afternoon. So I'm going to dig out the beading thread. I haven't really used beading thread in such a long time. So I have to try and dig the beading thread out. I found some silver, but I do need some other colours. Okay, so it looks like, if I've got no more votes in, it looks like the winning vote is box 10. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 votes for 10. So let's have a look what's in box 10. What type of beading thread for crochet? So I'm going to be using, like your standard tiger tail. Ooh, branding. Your standard tiger tail thread. It's a 3.8 0.38 millimeter or 0.4 millimeter. It doesn't really matter. Just a beading thread. It's a nice strong thread, flexible and strong, and is great to crochet with. It gives you really good movement. So I'm going to be using beading thread. What a great idea. I've got so many strands of chips. Yes, it's a great idea. I'm going to be using all sorts of lovely gemstones. I've been scouring the Charmers Gems website to find all the gems and colour palettes that I'm going to put together. So that's exciting. And then I will be demonstrating the crochet on Monday evening over at Charmers, and I will be also demonstrating how to create end caps for your crochet as well, so you can bring all those strands together into a nice neat finish. So that's what I'll be doing. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is this one. Right, this is great. Very, very, very versatile technique here. So we're going to do this one. Up there. And I need some beads. So you go and get some beads. You see my nice organized shelves? I know the boxes don't match, but it's very organized now. I've got all my few bits of jewelry up here that I can go and grab and give examples. It's nice and easy to get to. Also, it's nice to look at it, isn't it? Just have it out instead of in boxes. yeah, and all my tubs and all my beads. Not all my beads, but most of the beads. So let's have a look. I just get this tub. This has got my mixed beads in. A big bead scoop. Right. Okay, so for this demo, I will move the camera in a second. For this demo, we will need our basic tools such as wire cutters, chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, and for this one I'm going to use some bail making pliers as well, and for the sake of this demo I'm going to use the bigger ones, and but you can use your smaller ones. In fact, you can use a mandrel as well, so if you haven't got any bail makers, maybe you can use a chunky marker or something. You need a fairly wide circle. Let's see if I got anything. But yeah, like a chunky marker pen or something will give you the same sort of result. Leslie, Isabel says you use monofilament. Yes, monofilament is another great medium for crocheting. Gives you like an illusion style piece, and it's very light and fluffy, but it works. The monofilament works better with the small chips, much better. Otherwise they can be a bit heavy and drag the monofilament, so yeah, you'd be a bit careful with that. Leslie, I've made a crochet necklace but use monofilament. We'll try beading thread. Yeah, try it. It gives you a more robust, more sort of chunkier look. Both great, but beading thread is nice to work with, plus it's much easier to thread and see. So you know, with if your eyesight's not so great, it's much easier with beading thread. Right, what was I saying? Okay, and then we're gonna have some beads. I'm gonna go sparkly today. Yeah, go sparkly. Let's try these. I've got some. These are just glass crystals. You can use those. There's my cutters. Just unpick those, and I'm going to move the camera. I've got a new camera stand. I was thinking, great, I'll use that today, and then realised that it's not actually for the webcam. And of course, YouTube is on the webcam. Every platform is different. So for Instagram, I have to use my phone. For Facebook, I can use my phone or the camera. But for demonstrations, I generally now use my phone to film, or I use my camera to film. And I've got this new new like stand, which is absolutely brilliant, because it's so sturdy. And it means I can get the camera over the top of me without having the wire in the way, so I can still see. But then the fitting for it is for a phone, not for a webcam. So I still got the same problem of like having to move things around. I'll get there one day. Okay, so I'm going to move this now out of the way. Get that light, pop that light there so you can see my work. That's bright. And then I'm going to try and move this stand without knocking everything over. So it should, the idea was this would be lovely and seamless. Let's lay plans. I do try. You can see I'm trying, right? Okay, so materials before we do this. Materials, I'm going to use a 1mm wire and a 0.4mm wire. You can upscale or downscale depending on how big you want this project to be. And I'm going to, let's do it this right. Should now be able to see this. Upside down, aren't I? Right, let's bear with me. Oh, one day. One day. Let's try this. Okay, right. Let's do that there. Oh, it's looking good so far. And then we will zoom in. Zoom, let's zoom in. Okay, and that's actually not too bad for focus, is it? If I go here, not too bad. Let's try it. I'm gonna try it without adjusting the focus, and if I need to, I will. Right. So we're going to create a little element that looks like this. This is really versatile because you can use it like, you know, just as sort of a center for a necklace like this. You can build on it and do layers. You can turn it round. I mean, this one's been fixed in place, but you can turn it so that it becomes a flower. You can shape it. You can have it, you know, straight. You can curve it. You know, you can stitch it onto frames. It's a really versatile little technique. So I'm going to talk you through how to do that if I can remember myself. That's always the issue. I put it in the box and I think, oh, how did I achieve that again? Right. So 1mm wire. I'm going to cut it from the reel. And again, if I was, I always say this, if I was doing this project, just here without any cameras on, then I generally don't cut from my reel because it limits me. So but when I'm on the camera, it's really hard to stay in shot if I'm working on the reel. Okay, so I'm going to start at this end. I'm going to make it slightly bigger than this one, just to show you. But this one, so I'm going to work with my bail making pliers. Big step on here, but this could be a marker pen or something, you know, quite a chunky mandrel of sorts. And I'm going to start turning some loops. Okay, so I'm just holding and pulling the wire around. I've got a tail here, but I don't actually need that. It makes it easier if you don't have that tail. Okay, so let's just turn a coil. And again, depending on how big you want this piece, depends on how many coils you turn. They don't have to be super tight, but we do want them even. Okay, so push those down. Okay, so I'm just using all the wire. Right, so we've got a coil like this. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to, first off, I'm going to sort of splay them out. Okay, so I'm going to flatten the coil out. So you can see I'm just pressing and flattening the coil out. All right, so just so we can see where we are. And then I'm just going to discard that loop because it's got it finishes on an odd point. So then I'm going to hold the outside of the last loop, which is this bit of wire, and hold in place the next loop along. So I'm only going to be affecting this loop here. And I'm going to just pull. And as I pull, it brings that into more of a teardrop oval shape. Okay, and then we do the same on the next one. So move your thumb back, grab hold of the next loop, hold on to the loop you've just done so you don't distort it, and pull. Okay, and if you try and keep even pressure, you should get them evenly spaced. So the next one, again, move your thumb back, hold on to the next loop so you don't distort it, hold onto the loop you've just created, and pull. Okay, and again, next one, pull, next one, pull, next one, pull, next one, pull, last one. Okay, so we've got this, and then you can sort of manipulate by pushing it back together, splaying it out. That last one I'm not keen on, so I'm going to get rid of that one. It's best to do more than you need, and then you can get rid of some off the ends if you don't like them, because often the end ones are the ones that don't quite work out. Okay, so there you go. You've got now this loop section. That one's a little bit off. The trick is keeping your fingers in the same place to pull each loop. All right, so that's the main thing. And then to create the loops at the end, we're just going to trim the wire off. Just need a little loop at the end of each, so I'm leaving myself about 1 centimetre of wire to work with. And take your round nose pliers onto the end there and just turn a loop. I'm turning it inwards. You can turn it upwards, up to you, depends on the look you're going for or the way you're going to attach it in together. A loop just there, like so. Okay, so we've got the basis. All right, now this is quite nice to work into as it is, but if you want to sort of make those loops a bit pointier, then what you can do is go in with your chain. Where's my chain nose pliers on? Go in with your chain nose pliers into where the loops sort of start to form a bit of a point. Okay, so you can see the pointier bit in each loop. So go into there, hold on to where it crosses at the top to stop it distorting, and just pinch and pinch each side, and that will start to form it into a point. The next one, pinch and pinch, and you get these points instead. Pinch and pinch. You see how that's pointier now, and that's rounder. And you can make that more pronounced, but if you get those loops right to start with, pull. That one's gone off a bit. Okay. So we're getting that pointier. Okay, so now you've got a frame that you can work into. Let's put that one back. Yeah, so play and manipulate with it until you've got it exactly how you want it. That one's a bit, oh, gone a bit pointy. And then you can stitch into there, if you want to, some beads. So we can take these. I mean, actually, these are a little bit small now because they're rondelles. They're going to be narrow. But I would say find a bead that sort of roughly spans the gap that you've created, or make your gaps so that they're narrower to fit the bead that you're using. But the basic principle is we take some 0.4 wire. Wendy asked me a question the other day actually about wire. Oh, I'm glad you like that, Mary. Wendy asked me, what wire do I buy? Do I buy hard, half hard, or soft wire? So this time when I bought the wire, I actually didn't get the option with the 0.4 wire. And so I just assumed that it would be soft. But I would say when you do get the option, you do get the choice, choose a soft 0.4 wire and a half hard for the other wires, unless you're going to tumble unless you're going to tumble your wires and then harden them up, because just, you know, your general wire working, sometimes it's nice to have a bit of resistance in the wire. It helps you create more fluid shapes. But if you are going to be using mandrels and things like that, then you might want to use a soft. But generally 0.4 always have a soft, because it's easier to wire wrap with a soft wire than it is a half hard, because it's a bit springy. So this one that I bought recently is a bit springy really, and I have to keep it very warm to work with. It's quite a bit of a pain. Okay, so I've attached 0.4 wire, wrapped it around the frame here at the side. Let me take that light up a bit, maybe it'll take some of the glare off. So wrap 0.4 wire around the edge, around the side there, and I've got my wire, 0.4 wire here. Pick up a gemstone or a bead, let it drop down into the loop like that, and then take the wire down through the next loop and back up through the loop that the bead is in. Right, let's change the focus on here a bit. There we go. So that's down through the next loop along and up through that loop, and pull the wire, wrap it nice and firmly around. Okay, so that's going to do two things. It's securing the bead in, but it's also stopping those the frame from splaying. Okay, so I would say twice is enough. You can go more if you want, just keep it consistent. So if you've done it twice in the one, do it twice in the next one, and so on. Okay, so there's that one's in place, and now we can put in the next one. So the wire's ready. Take another bead, thread it on, let it drop into the into the space. Take your wire through the next loop along. You see, this is what happens with a half hard wire. It loops and becomes tricky to thread. Probably working with far more than I need to work with here, but it's nice to have more than you need instead of adding. Okay, through the wire there, pull and push through the wire, through the loop again, and back through. Okay, but that's it. You keep going until you've filled your section, and then that's ready to add into a pendant or something. I was thinking these would make great ear cuffs as well, so they'd be nice to go, you know, around the ear. Maybe a bit smaller, but you can make lovely ear cuffs. And if you manipulated it a bit more, so push them together, open those loops out, you can turn it into a flower. You see how that would work? Just keep it going, and then you'd have a central one to add into, and you just sort of stitch the loops together. So yeah, that's a nice easy way of making flowers too. All right, so hopefully that's one you can work with and evolve and do your own interpretations of, and you don't have to put the points in. You can leave it as it is. Let me just show you, actually, as I was doing that, I thought actually you could do this if you wanted much more consistent flower. Let's do a flower together quickly whilst I've got it on my mind. I'll do it a bit bigger to give you a better view. So I'm going to make loops again. I'm going to do 7 petals, so I'm going to try and do 7 goes around my mandrel, or I'll do 9 just to be sure, and then I can discard the one at either end. They're always a bit dodgy, the 2 end ones, so if you do extra, you can always get rid of the end ones if they don't work well. In fact, I'll just do a load and see what happens. Okay, so I've got my coil here. So before I start, pulling the loops, I could put the bends in first. So if I grab hold of, let me use my flat pliers, grab hold of the loops in my pliers and push. Now you need a bit of, you need a tough hand to do this. So let me do a few at a time. So push with the pliers against it there. You've got your, put your petal shapes in first. Do it the other way as well. One, I have to try and do it the same on the other side. I couldn't do them all at the same time then. So let's get that lined up. This side and this side. Okay, like so. And then we can start pulling them. So I can discard that first one. I'll pull it, pull the next one, next one, next one, next one, next one. Keep pulling. So there we go. This is making, it's more of a lotus, isn't it, this one? So we can pull them a bit more. It's a bit trickier to do that, shape it first, because it's a lot of wires to work with at once, and so obviously the more you work with, the stronger the harder it is to manipulate when you're trying to manipulate 6 or 7 wires at once. It's quite tricky. But there we go. Let's get rid of those ends. Let's pop a little loop. Loop on each side. Okay. And then, yeah, you've got the points already in, and you know it's a bit more uniform if you do it beforehand. But like I said, it is trickier to do it that way. But this one, we can then just gently ease round until it makes a circle. That one's a bit small on the end. There you go. You've now got a flower. And you can use it like that. It's got quite a large centre, but maybe you could do a smaller one to sit on top. That would be nice. Okay, well, there you go. There's a little bit of inspiration to set you off for the week. Have an experiment, see what shapes you can create. If you've got a mandrel, that's different shapes. A teardrop shaped mandrel would be brilliant for this. I'd have to dig mine out. I know I've got some somewhere, some different shaped mandrels. You could do this with squares, see what happens. Who knows? I mean, it's worth experimenting, isn't it? Try different mandrels and different things to wrap your wires around and see what you come up with. Okay, right, let me cancel that, turn that off. I'm gonna flip you up the other way. There's me, my necklace. You're going to be very close to my face there, so I'm going to move you back a bit before I do this. There's my chin. Hello. Right, can I keep the camera there? No, other way. Why can't you just have one camera that does it all there? Oh, Mary, I'm glad you're loving the mystery mojos. It's just the right amount of info for an old person to absorb at a time. It's like bite size, isn't it, Mary? And it gives you just a start point. And sometimes that's what you need just to get you going. I know it's like sometimes you come up to your desk and you think, I don't know what to do. But it gives you a little starter, and then that can inspire the next step and the next step and the next step. So yeah, good. I'm glad you're enjoying them, Mary. And I love seeing your posts in Mojo of what you've done and how you've progressed them, and that you've enjoyed them. It's brilliant. Love it, says Linda Roderick. Skadjus, thanks for the demo. We'll be trying it this week. Cool. Thanks, Gemma. See you next week. Thanks, everybody. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'm going to go and have a quick break, maybe some breakfast before the workshop. So don't forget, free workshop this afternoon, 12:30. You just need some old magazines, catalogues, pamphlets, leaflets, a newspaper, anything with colour, you need colour. So anything like that, you need a glue stick or something you can stick paper down with, and a bit of cardboard, which can be an old cardboard box, it can be an old Amazon box. The Amazon boxes, which are like envelopes, you know, the cardboard ones, they're great. Just open those up, they're brilliant. What else will you need? Or cereal box, just a bit of card really, and hopefully bigger than A4, but if it's not, it doesn't matter, we can cope with A4, but a bit bigger would be great. And I will see you all later. So 12:30, book on the website, gemmacrow.com. It's free, just check out and you'll get your download to join this afternoon. So if you are coming today, I will see you in an hour or so. And if not, I will see you probably, I might see you Thursday on the workshop, because there's the intermediate wire weaving workshop on Thursday, which takes you through several different weaves with a few projects, Bangle project, particularly that's the main project on Thursday. That's Thursday afternoon, 2:30 till 5:30. And if you do book any workshops, don't forget, till the end of the day, you can use JAN10, code JAN10, so caps JAN 10 to get 10% off. And that will work on any workshop you book until March. So, but it ends today. The code ends today. All right. Okay, have a great week. Let me know what you've done in Crow's Mojo, post all your makes, and I will see you soon.